How you doing, Gary, Indiana? It's your girl, Dinahlynn, and today it's going down. Gus Redmon, music producer who's been in the business over 50 years in the Chicagoland area, will be right here with us at the all-new WLTH studios. Be sure to come on down. We're going to have a blast.
Overall down to a B. They have established tutoring in math and English language.
Got Gus Redmon, Nate Kane in the house. You're in with Dinahlynn at 1370 AM. We're WLTH. Good afternoon, Gary, Indiana, and welcome to our music showcase featuring Chicago's own Gus Redmon, legendary music producer for MusicQuest Records for almost 50 years. He's dabbled in the music industry all over. We also have Nate Kane, Gary's own Nate Kane, who got me my first job on radio at WWCA back in the day. We have our own WLTH Tommy Williams in the house, who's been around with these guys for a long time. And we also has Gus number 2 in the house. This is the other Gus.
That's Big Gus.
Big Gus, Big Gus. And we're going to talk to you today about music history in the Midwest. I want to thank you. I'm Dinahlynn. I want to thank you for coming out today. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate it. We're streaming live via Ustream all over the world, and you can call in at 219-885-1371. I'd like to take a minute and send our prayers out for our own Marshall Thompson of the Skylights. Right, Gus? We want to say?
Yeah, Marshall and Frank. Frank Reed passed.
Right.
And he was the lead singer for the Skylights the last 15 years.
Okay. They're legends, and they were just here with us, and they're part of our community, and our prayers go out to them. How you doing, Nate?
I'm doing great, Dana. Starting off with me, huh? Yeah, Nate, go ahead.
You backed everything I did over here.
Right. That's right. Well, I go back a long ways with both Gus Redmons and Tommy Williams and Dinahlynn.
Yeah.
Back to probably the 70s anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've had a few establishments here in this area. I ran the Roberts Motel for back in the 70s, and we brought in Top Name Entertainment. We had acts in there like Ramsey Lewis, Jerry Butler, B.B. King, the Dales, Gene Chandler. We had Gene Chandler, and we had the Crusaders, and Cannonball Adderley. As a matter of fact, Cannonball Adderley came back here to visit me when he passed away.
Tell us about your radio. You dabbled in radio as well.
I was also in the radio back then. I worked at WLTH, this station, and when it was on 36th and Broadway, and also at WWCA. I thought you were at WLTH back then.
You hired me at WWCA first.
Okay, WWCA.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
And we had some good times. Those were the good days in this town. This town was vibrant and alive and vibrant, and people were out and about and civilized. You know? So I say so. I remember when I left Roberts Motel, Gus Redmon took over Roberts, and they renamed it the Zanzibar.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a very nice establishment back in the day. I left there and went to the Mod Hatter. I bought the Mod Hatter over in Hammond.
Right.
And we had, it was a disco at the time that seated 1,000 people in the middle of a shopping center. So it was before its time. And we had top name entertainment through there. We had groups like the SOS Band, Shalimar, B.B. King,
The Dales.
the Dales, the Spaniels. We had with their 25th anniversary reunion. And we had, who else did we have? We had Roy Ayers. We had all the top name entertainment, Manhattans. We had all the top name entertainment. Those are the good old days. Yeah.
What's your take on that, Tommy? What about your music experience back in the day?
Well,
You
I
worked with everybody, huh?
Oh yeah, I first got started at WOKJ, Jackson, Mississippi, when I was
Jackson,
in college.
Mississippi. Okay.
And I came to WGRY in Gary,
Okay.
and I worked WWCA. In fact, I worked at WYCA at one time, WGOB.
You worked at WGRT.
WGRT, Quick Radio.
That's right.
That's when I was over with the great guys.
With the
Rodney
great guys.
Jones, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And that's when I got to know Record Row.
Record.
Because you know about Record Row.
Michigan Avenue, that's
Yeah,
where I came
Michigan
off.
Avenue.
I came off of Michigan
Wow.
Avenue.
Came off of Record Row.
Well, when did you first meet Gus? This Gus.
I met Gus about 1966 somewhere.
Yeah, something like
And
that.
it's when you and Gene Chandler, you were
Yeah,
traveling with
I was
Gene
with
Chandler.
Gene, and I was
Yeah,
Gene's
we
road manager.
Yeah, he was road
Okay.
manager with Gene
Oh,
Chandler.
road manager.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's when I first met.
Well, me and
This
Gene
Gus.
came out of Inglewood High School together.
Yeah, that's
so
why I first
I
met
had
Gus.
a
Yeah,
chance to go with
yeah,
Gene.
yeah. Gene was the road manager. I mean, Gus was the road manager
Okay.
for Gene Chandler. That's when I first met him.
Okay.
And then we got to meet all the guys in Chicago, like Purvis Staples, Clinton Gent,
Ronnie Paul.
and all those guys.
Don Cornelius.
Don Cornelius.
Who was the DJ
Who was the
at the
DJ?
time?
The VON at the
VON.
time.
Yeah, Butterball Crane and all those guys.
Joe Cobb.
Joe Cobb. They were working at
Those early
WVON.
guys, Dr. Rock.
Dr.
Dr.
Rock. But
Rock.
Rock was
Frazier.
working at
Yeah,
WMPP.
he was.
Yeah,
He
Yeah,
was
with
at,
big with JJ now.
yeah, he was with
I thought he
JJ.
was at VON also.
No, he wasn't with
No,
the big
he
guys.
went
didn't
to
come with the big
Milwaukee.
guys.
He went to
He went
Milwaukee.
straight
He
from
went to Milwaukee,
Milwaukee.
right.
Milwaukee.
Okay, Gus. It's all about you. You know, our listeners want to know about being able to reach out and touch a music producer who's been in the area. I know we have other Gus here as well, but just throw out some names. I know you guys have worked with everybody. What's your most, I know all your artists are special to you, but what's the one that's closest to your heart?
Me? You know, I didn't produce everybody that I worked with. I was the promotion director for the companies.
Okay.
But the only song that I had a chance to write, I didn't produce it, was the Sly Slick and the Wicked,
Okay.
which hit in 1970.
Okay.
Next to the Jackson 5 song. Actually, we tied as #1 song for 3 months in Billboard.
Okay. Okay.
And my song was the Sly Slick and the Wicked, and the other one, matter of fact, I still got the Billboard magazine that show both groups tying and
Right.
staying there for almost 3 or 4 months.
Well, I understand you
#1.
just got an award last week.
Yes, over 50 years in the business. I lied to them and told them it was 40 because I didn't want to let everybody know my age. And then when I got up on stage, I said, okay, it's 50, all right. But no, I've been doing this a long time, and working with Carl Davis, who I started with Gene Chandler. Well, Carl Davis was the first one that hired me into the business. But a lot of people don't know that my dad sent me down to Houston, Texas, to learn the business from Don Roby, who had Peacock Records.
Oh, you knew Don Roby?
Yeah, I worked for him.
Oh.
Dave Clark was his boss. That's an old
Okay.
promotion man that was in the business. And but I didn't want to hang with Dave Clark and Bill. I wanted to go ride the race horses that Don Roby had, and I messed up myself on.
Oh, wow.
You know, I couldn't ride a horse. I thought I was half slick. And my father was trying to turn me around, and he didn't want me to be in the business. That's what it was.
Okay.
So he sent me to Houston thinking that I wasn't going to make it, but I came back, and then that's when I got with Carl and started with Gene Chandler, with Major Lance and Jackie Wilson and Charlites and Tyrone Davis and Young Hope Trio and Barbara Ackerlund and Walter Jackson, just
Just
to
the list
name a
goes
few.
on, yeah.
All today, where I promoted over 592 million-seller platinum records since I've been in the business. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
And then today, what's good, and thanks to Dinahlynn station, I got 2 artists now that are going to be big stars like the rest, and that's T.O. Williams, who
Right.
is 24 years old, plays trumpet and sing, and also Yemi Marie, who is 17 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and she is she is a superstar already to me.
For
but-
any entertainers that came to this area, they came through art, through us. They went to different venues that Nate Kane, yourself, that you owned. Tell us about how vibrant it was back in the day.
It was absolutely marvelous.
Marvelous. What a wonderful word.
And truthfully, I've never been in the entertainment, but I was drug in by the other Gus
The other guys.
based on the fact that we didn't even know each other
Okay.
and we're cousins.
We
Really?
didn't know each
And
other back
people
then.
would be talking to me about certain things and I didn't know what they were talking about.
Okay.
And vice versa, because I've always been an entrepreneur in business of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, can't be. They said, yes, it's another Gus. And he was hearing it. And what happened is that went on for quite a while.
Really?
And then we had a friend by the name of Magellan,
Mm-hmm.
and he made it possible for us to meet. So Gus called me and said, I'm Gus. I said, no, I'm Gus. And we met, and we've been together ever since, due to the extent that we were both out there doing our thing.
Right, right.
And
Came
from
together.
that point, you know, I got a chance to meet a lot of the entertainers. And as I said, I've always been doing something. I was in the motel business over in Chicago first,
Okay.
due to the extent of urban renewal. They tore down all of the old hotels and things in the inner city.
Okay.
And as we all know, back in those days, most of us would go out and have a nice time, as Nate said, and end up maybe at one of the places sitting around waiting to see about being
Right.
able to get a room.
Okay.
And then I decided with a couple of other friends, I think I'd have more fun owning a place
Right.
than sitting around waiting on a room.
Okay. That's what I'm talking
That
about.
was, so that was the start with,
Okay.
with us. And I end up with buying the motel up here after they had closed down
Okay.
and redid it.
Mm-hmm.
From there, you know, and I met Nate, and he packed the place.
Right.
He was running the lounge.
Yeah.
I was never mingling. He'll probably tell you he maybe saw me once or twice in that
Okay.
place.
Okay.
He saw my brother-in-law, but not me.
Okay.
I ran the banquet facility.
Okay.
I like working with the people,
Okay.
and booking up, and getting paid at one time.
Okay.
And that's what happened with the banquet facility. But from that point, you know, we did very well.
Okay.
So,
All right.
and you're right, these are living
Living-
legends,
living
right here, all
legends.
of them, because I'm here to witness that.
Tell my audience, didn't you used to work for WLTX?
No.
No?
No.
No?
Let me tell you about that.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was trying to remind Tommy.
No, I didn't work for Telltale, but I still act like I owned it. because my boss owned it.
Your boss owned
Yeah,
it.
Carl Davis and
Okay.
Tom Lewis
Tom
and
Lewis.
Jim Hutchinson.
Jim
Hutchinson.
They had the bank, the Drexel Bank in Chicago on 47 and Drexel,
Okay.
and they had the bank on 35th and King Drive.
Okay.
So Carl Davis, my boss, talked them into buying the radio station. Then they bought 2 stations down in New Orleans, WYOD,
Oh, yeah.
and then they bought the station in St. Louis, KTZ,
Yeah.
and FM and AM over there, and they bought the one in Augusta. So they had 7
Right.
stations. But Steve Brisker worked for Carl
Okay.
Oh.
and as a program director.
Right, right.
And
Under me, I worked there.
And I used to come in the station and bring my 12 records or 15 records I had and go in and take all the records Steve had out and put my 15 in and dare him to say something because I'll call Tom and call
That
him in a
was
minute.
yeah, right.
So I used to
What you
threaten
say,
him. I used to
Nate?
threaten him all the time. You remember that?
I was there at that.
I love
about
that. You remember that time that Tom had a girlfriend, right?
Oh, my goodness.
And Tom wanted this song played as a pop song. And they called Steve up. That's when they fired Steve. Jim was supposed to come and fire Steve.
Oh my goodness.
And I remember Steve said, "Tom, I can't cut the radio and play this record because it'll mess the show up."
Right.
Tom said, "I don't care. I want my record because I want to show my girls that
Oh,
I can get the record on when I want."
okay.
Right?
Oh, so he was
He was trying to do some of my stuff, but I'll do it in the afternoon.
You know that's ironic because I worked at LTH when Harry Porterfield owned it,
That's right.
and Interurban Broadcasting.
That's right. That's who had it first.
And then Jim Hutchinson, Tom
And
Lewis,
Tom,
and
Carl.
Carl Davis came in and bought them out, and
Yeah.
I worked for them.
Yeah.
So and Steve Briscoe was
Steve
the
Briscoe was
station manager, program manager,
Program
actually,
director.
Wow.
program director,
Right.
and Judy Birch was the station manager.
Yeah.
But I remember that. I mean, it's clear as yesterday,
just like
man.
I
When
said.
you brought that up, and you said
You
you was
thought
coming there with
about
the
it.
records and
I used to do that.
going to Steve's office. Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Dinah, I want to thank you for inviting me. I was a little reluctant at first, but I'm happy that I had an opportunity to come out and spend some time with the legends that are sitting around,
And,
here, including yourself.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you very much for inviting me.
Yeah, well, I'm just happy to see the guys again because I always spend a lot of time with them, especially Big Gus. Big Gus and I have done a lot of things together, and we always try to have some entrepreneurship going among ourselves. And we've just launched a brand new internet channel called Smoky99.com. Smoky99.com. It's launched. It's online right now, so tune in.
Okay. I want to say I got a surprise for you.
Uh-oh.
We got something we're going to get into that you're going to love.
Me and Gus represent an organization called Infinite Scholar. Check that out, infinitescholar.org. And we facilitated in September over here at the Genesis. We gave away $5 million over here in Gary to high school kids going to college. So this is something we're doing again. September
All right.
coming up this year again, and May 13th, 14th, we'll be at Inglewood High School in Harvey, Illinois, with the mayor of Harvey. We did it at Inglewood, so altogether in this area, we did $12 million around the world, around the United States. In the last 11 years, we've done over $1 billion.
Oh, wow.
And this is monies that is there. Most people don't believe this. Gus, he didn't believe it at first. I didn't believe it until we were there and seen it with our own eyes. That how these kids were able to come in here with no monies. All they got to do is have a 2.5 and up.
All right.
And their grades, and they got this money. So it's there.
Okay.
And you'll be hearing a lot from us, from Gary and Harvey and also Chicago. Club Nouveau is going to
Club
call
Nouveau.
in from, y'all remember Club Nouveau?
Oh,
Romas
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Jefferson?
Okay.
Well, I'm working them, and they got a record 28 with a bullet and Billboard, and
Okay.
they're on their way back up. Tom, I got to talk to you about bringing them in town. Right?
Okay,
You and
all
May
right.
got to bring them
All
in.
right.
okay?
Well, thanks.
All right.
Let's give a round of
All right.
applause for the guys. We appreciate you coming. Just recently, I had a chance to go and check out these guys perform live, and I'm gonna tell you, I was wowed out of my seat. Getting more money than you. This guy here, he like took you to a whole nother place. And then I got to see this young lady with all of her energy saying, "You're not doing it loud enough. You gotta bring it." And then this man here, we got to sample some songs, Hello Lady, and Sometimes. It's the smooth voice of Luther Vandross. I mean, he's a great entertainer. And you might get to see a little bit if you just stay tuned. But in opening up, I wanted to talk to you, TL. You're about what, 20? 25. Wow. When did you do your first album?
This album, Life in My Mid-20s, is the debut album.
It's the debut. Okay.
I've done a couple of like maxi singles and mixtapes.
Okay.
For a few years. This is like the debut album.
Okay. So where do you get your energy from? I mean, who do you patron yourself after?
You know, I'm blessed with two parents that are like just constant motivation 24/7.
Okay.
And you know, God, and you add that together, you use that the fact that I'm high off life. Like, you know, I enjoy what I do. It's fun for me.
It seems fun. When I got to see him perform, it's like he took you to a whole nother magical place. What is it that you would say to young people aspiring to get their career started? Because we had Marshall Thompson here earlier this year, and he was saying that everybody thinks they got to move out of their city to be famous.
Yeah.
Just got to be good, huh?
Yeah, you don't with today's technology and the beauty of social media, you don't have to move out of your city to another place. You can get, you can go viral in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Right, right.
It starts where you are, and it starts with your truth.
And you, young man, they tell me you have the voice of Luther. How's that work out?
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful. Let me hear a little something. All right. Well,
That's what you learn in this business.
yeah, let's give it up for him. All
Gotta
right.
be spontaneous.
You gotta be spontaneous. Now, how did your music get started?
Well, I want to base it around the groups that came up back in the day, the Temptations, the street singing.
Street singing, okay.
Kind of thing,
Okay.
doo-wop, back in the day, standing on the corners, and one thing led to another, but my brother was an entertainer.
Okay.
And I went to see him perform for the very first time. And trust me, I never looked back.
Never looked.
My brother showed me something that came from his heart.
Okay.
And I never knew that part about him.
Okay.
A friend of the guy that I wound up in the group with, he wound up asking me to get a ticket to go see my brother perform. I've never seen my brother perform.
Okay.
And I went to see him perform.
And Miss Yimmy, how are you? I got to see her, and her energy was so good. How are you doing today? How are you absorbing all of this?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're ready to bring it, huh? Okay, what's your favorite song?
Of mine?
Yes,
Or
of yours.
mine, well, it would be the one on this new coming album. So I just gotta wait to hear.
Gotta wait to get, see, she already got it going in her blood. Okay, just say a little bit about Gus. And working with Gus Redmon, is he like the slave driver we heard he is, or is he just consistent and over and over and over again?
Can I feel that one?
Yes.
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 Yes. No. I'll pick it
Let
up.
me push it across to the side.
Okay.
Because we go way back.
Okay.
Yes, he
Yes,
did.
he is.
But
Yes.
trust me, he get the job
Gets
done.
the job done.
My first group, Essence, one of his first cousins was
Okay.
in the group with me.
Okay.
We were signed to the Epic label.
Okay.
Gus worked the record, broke our first record. I was riding down, it was Lakeshore Drive. We were on our way to Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Uh-huh.
Record came on the radio, WJPC.
I remember JPC.
Oh, the record broke. Loving You Comes Naturally. Loving you just comes naturally.
All right now.
And we were like in the car, riding down the road. Is that our record? Man, turn it up. Oh my God. They said, we got Gus Redmon in the studio right now. I said, Gus, the record.
All right. That's what he does.
And that's what he do.
Okay, well,
He
we're
never
gonna,
said
One thing, if I could elaborate off that, one thing that I admire about Gus and having the opportunity to work with him is the amount of passion that he puts into his craft.
Okay.
One of the most passionate, business agents that you're probably ever going to see
Okay.
in the history of music. And it says a lot about your record when Gus gets passionate about your record.
Okay.
So that's,
But working with Gus is really good. He definitely pushes me to do better and gives me advice on my performances and things like that.
Okay.
Which makes me have so much energy when I go on stage. Gus will probably talk to me before the show, after the show, and give me comments or anything like that.
Okay.
And on my new music especially, like if a note was off or something, Gus will hear it. Or if something is wrong, Gus has the ear for music, really. So
Okay.
it's definitely really good working with him, and I definitely gained a lot.
Hey, I'm Jerry Williams. I'm the president of Shy Sound Records, and we have some great young artists. You've heard some of the legends. Now you're going to hear and see some of the great talent that we have now. We think that we have the best in the country. Right now, you're finna listen to a young lady that's fantastic. Her name, she gonna tell you that. Her name is Yimmy Marie. Beautiful.
I'm gonna speak my mind. I wanna slow it down. So I can take my time. I gotta tell you where I draw the line. You've got yours, and I've got mine. Don't try to pressure me on what to do. You're running with the crowd. Well, that's up to you. Never been up for this. Let me explain. You won't determine how I play the game. I'm out here getting mine. Oh, it gets so wild. Oh, it gets so wild. I'm gonna speak my mind. Slow it down. Oh yeah. Where I draw the line. Yeah. And you know that I got mine. Maybe this is where we draw the line.
All right, let's give it up for her.
Thank you.
I want to introduce this young man here. Like I said before, he's tutored under Wynton Marsalis, just plays 5 instruments, just does some of everything. But I'm going to get off the stage right now and introduce him, T.L. Williams.
Put your hands together, everybody. This is live, baby. Yeah.
They say my attitude is bad 'cause I act like a superstar, like a superstar. They say I need to slow down when I'm driving my fancy car, driving my fancy car. See, I know why you mad at me. I'm getting more money than you,
All right.
getting more money than you. Everybody know